Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Talk Sports Show with Alec Pequignot on Monday, October 30th. Let's get right into it. Here are my upset picks for Week 10 of college football. My number 6 upset this week is Northwestern plus 5.5 over Iowa. And I like this upset because nobody was picking Northwestern to win, and they ended up winning. That is why I have them upsetting Iowa this week. Colorado State, number 5 upset. Colorado State plus 7 over Wyoming. I like this upset due to the fact that I think Colorado State can pull off the upset here. I don't know much about Colorado State other than they know how to score points. And I think they can Wyoming and upset them. My number 4 upset is Kent State plus 3 over Akron. Both teams have one win on the year. Somebody's going to get their second win, and I have more faith in it being Kent State getting the upset here and getting the win than I do in Akron. My number 3 upset is South Florida plus 3.5 against Memphis. I talked about this last night on the show, how I think USF can beat Memphis. It took Memphis till the last play of the game last week to win. And just a little teaser, look ahead. You may see this USF Memphis game later on in the show. My number 2 upset is Illinois plus 3.5 over Minnesota. I like Illinois to pull off the upset here because I feel like they're going to score more points than Minnesota. Minnesota struggles to score big time. And I don't like the fact that Minnesota, Ethan Kaliakanis, the Minnesota quarterback, he's going to And my number 1 upset this week is Boston College plus 4 over Syracuse. Boston to mess around and make a bowl game. And I'm going to say this right now. I was wrong on Boston College at the beginning of the season. I think I had them winning 4 games total. And boy, was I wrong. And I admit it. I was very wrong on Boston College. I think they will upset Syracuse this week. If they don't, come back to this video and clown me in the comments section. And now, on to my number 1 cover this week. And my covers will be doing 3 today and 3 on Friday, as well as same with the over-under picks. My first cover this week is Duke minus 9 to cover the point spread against Wake Forest. I understand Duke is on their backup QB, but I feel more confident in Duke on their backup quarterback covering the point spread against Wake Forest more than I do Wake Forest winning this game and covering the point spread. I watched Wake Forest last week against Florida State, and I know Florida State's good, but at least try to make it a game, Wake Forest, and they got absolutely not eviscerated, but they got absolutely beat. And That's why I like Duke to cover the point spread here. Number 2 point spread cover pick this week is Texas minus 5.5 to cover the spread against Kansas State. Kansas State's coming off a game where they didn't give up any points to Houston. And I think Texas covers the point spread here. But I think if you're betting on this game, you probably want to take the over in this game. My number 3 cover of the early portion of college football is Troy minus 6 to cover the spread against South Alabama. And I believe this is a weekday game. So if you're going to bet on this game, you might want to get your bets in now because I believe this is a Tuesday or Wednesday game in the Sun Belt. And I like Troy here to cover. As you've seen, I'm a huge supporter of Troy. They're in my top 25, which I know what people are going to say. You need to make your top 25 more realistic. I think that is as realistic as it's going to be for me as my top 25. But I like Troy to cover here because I don't trust. I've watched South Alabama's games. They can score, but I don't know if they can keep up with Troy. And now here are my over-under picks. Wait. I'm in a little issue here. Sorry. It was from last week. Over-under picks. My first over-under is I'm taking the over in the Louisiana-Arkansas State game of 60 points. I think this is going to be a good old-fashioned slugfest that there's going to be a lot of scoring and not a lot of defense. And that is why I like Arkansas State in Louisiana. I like taking the over in this game. Last week, I did not have a good week on my upset picks. Overall, I went 7 for 13 last week in my picks, which grades out to 70%. I did not do good last week. I'm hoping to get back on track this week. I told you may see this game again in the show. South Florida, Memphis. I like the over in this game for one reason, and I talked about why earlier. I mentioned that it took Memphis till the last play of the game to beat North Texas last week. I like the over of 68 points in this game. And I think the over will hit in this game. Byron Brown, keep your eye on him. He's really good. And my last over-under pick is Middle Tennessee State versus New Mexico State, and I'm taking the under of 56.5 in this game. I don't know what it is. I just don't really understand why the over-under in this game is so high. I looked, and neither team scores a lot of points. They're like bottom 25 in points scored combined between both teams. And yes, I did my math before the show. And I'm going to give you one bonus over-under that I like this early portion of the week. Because I know I'm sharing Miami of Ohio's schedule. ESPN. And schedule. Here we go. Okay, we're good now. And give you one more, like I said, one more over under pick. And then I'm going to sign off. Toledo and Buffalo. The point spread, the over under is 52.5. And I think I'm going to take the over in this game. The over of 52.5. I think there will be a lot of points scored in the Toledo Buffalo game that tomorrow night at 7:30 on Halloween night. And if you haven't already, please, if you don't mind leaving a thumbs up on the video, it helps with the YouTube algorithm. And if you also wouldn't mind, it would be generous and helpful to me if you wouldn't mind purchasing a membership if you're watching this on YouTube. My memberships cost, the lowest one is 99 cents a month. The highest is $14.99 a month. And you get perks with the memberships. One of them is you get to be in a fantasy league of your choosing with me. And fantasy baseball, when that comes back around and I start up my fantasy baseball league, to enter that raffle, all you have to do is like or subscribe to the channel in order to be eligible for the Fantasy Baseball League in 2024. And ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for today's stream. I will see you back here tonight at roughly 9 o'clock, maybe a few minutes late. But thank you for coming out to the stream. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.